Hey, what's up guys? Rob here. Welcome back to a brand new Top 20 for 2020 video, which was created by Horrific Nightmares JM and the Horror Man. Definitely go check out their channels and subscribe. The topic that was picked was 70s horror films, and I was really excited to see that because I love 70s horror films. A lot of great ones, a lot of classics. And I decided to do my list a little bit different because I know everyone's going to pick Alice, Sweet Alice, or Suspiria, or Black Christmas, you know, which are all great films. I'm not dissing those films whatsoever. I love them. But I decided to name some that are my favorites that I think no one else is going to mention. And I just kind of wanted to be a little bit different. But when we get into our, let's say, top 10, then you know, things start to, you know, be more familiar. So, I hope you enjoy my list. It is my opinion. So, yeah. Starting with number 20, stars Sam Elliott, and it is Frogs. Now, I have a lot of fun with this movie. Okay? I mean, just frogs, you know. This is one of those films that you can't really take seriously, but I love that. A flesh-crawling experience. Yeah, I love this movie. I actually got this DVD, this MGM releasing DVD from the Salvation Army for like 50 cents. So I was really happy to pick it up and especially find it there out of all places. Coming in at number 19 is Torso. I was going to put Deep Red on there, but I was like, you know, maybe other people are going to put Deep Red. So I decided to go with Torso. Of course, this is the Arrow release with a lot of good special edition content on it. So yeah, Torso. Mine didn't come with a slipcover, and that sucks. As you know, I do love slipcovers. Alright, coming in at number 18 is Invasion of the Body Snatchers, which has a really good cast. I mean, you got Jeff Goldblum, you got Donald Sutherland in there. I think Leonard Nimoy's in here. But, yeah. Really good movie. Found this on Blu-ray at Walmart a while back. I think it was only like $5. But, yeah, really good one. Alright, so we are on to number 17, and that is Lucio Fulci's Zombie. This is the 2-disc Ultimate Edition from Blue Underground. I believe there's a 3-disc as well. I want to get my hands on that 3-disc, but this will do for now. Yeah, what more can I say about Zombie that hasn't already been said? Really awesome. Definitely one of the greats. Definitely one of my favorites for sure. All right, so coming in at number 16 is George A. Romero's The Crazies. Now, there are some titles that I'm going to list here that I actually prefer the remake a little bit more than the original. I do really like this film. I do prefer the remake just a little bit more. And it has to do with the actors and actresses that were cast for the roles, you know, specifically. And this is a Arrow release that, again, I did not get a slipcover with it, but whatever. At least I got the movie, right? So, The Crazies, that was number 16. So now we're on to number 15, and that is the original Last House on the Left. Written and directed by Wes Craven. Rest in peace, Wes Craven. This is a crazy movie, and it's very I want to say it's very silly at times. I mean, I'm not saying like, you know, the rape scene and stuff is crazy, but just the music choices and some of the cinematography, just some of the things that happen in this movie are just kind of goofy. And I'm not really sure whether to take it serious or just laugh. So I guess you can do both. But, you know, I've always said that I prefer I Spit on Your Grave. So, and it's still true to this day. I actually do still prefer it. But I do like the movie. So if I didn't like it, it wouldn't be on this list. So that was number 15. Coming in at number 14 is also another Wes Craven film, and that is The Hills Have Eyes. This is the Arrow releasing here, this nice box. Again, I actually prefer the remake over this one. But I do like the casting choices here. I mean, you know, Dee Wallace. This movie is still great. But there are just things about the remake that I like a lot more. And I'll probably do like a comparison video. I have done those in the past, so anyway, yeah, so The Hills Have Eyes is number 14. Coming in at number 13 is The Amityville Horror. This is one of those films where I have to be in a certain mood. The pacing is a little off for me in this film. I'm not saying that James Brolin and Margot Kidder, you know, didn't do a good job. They did. It's just, it's very slow paced, and I still think Amityville 2, The Possession, is a way better film and better paced than this. I don't know. That's just my personal opinion, but it's still a classic movie. I mean, it started it all with the Amityville stuff, so I had to add it to the list. Number 12, I'm just going to put this down, The Omen. Of course, this is the Omen collection, where you get the 3 Omen films in the remake. So, the very first Omen is fantastic. It is, yeah, I love it so much. I prefer the first one, I think, out of every movie, even over the remake. But yeah, the Omen films are, I want to say, even the sequels are kind of underrated. So that was number 12. Number 11 is Carrie. Yes, Brian De Palma film. Sissy Spacek is amazing. I did not care for the remake at all because Chloe Grace Moretz, you know, she's kind of like a pretty girl, and I just didn't see her in the role of Carrie. Sissy Spacek kind of had that homely look to her, even though she is pretty. I'm saying she made me think of her as, you know, kind of that girl who's, you know, she comes from a home where her mom's kind of religious and crazy. Like, she made me believe that in this movie. And you actually really feel sorry for her. And especially what they do to her at the end. It's just one of those movies that has an iconic ending and something that, you know, you'll never forget. So, all right, now we are on to my top 10. This is one that I definitely think that no one will have in their list. And it is The House of Seven Corpses. Now, what does that sound like? The House of Seven Corpses. The House of 1,000 Corpses? Ring a bell? Got John Carradine, John Ireland. This is the Severin Films releasing. I believe this was 1974. Yeah, this movie, I saw this like, I think it was like 10 years ago was the first time I saw this movie. And then I seen that they had, Severin Films releasing of it, so I had to grab it. Yeah, this is one of those films that hardly anybody talks about, so definitely had to put this in my list. Coming in at number 9 is the original I Spit on Your Grave. And, I put this over Last House on the Left because this does exploit women. This one woman, Jennifer Hills, she gets raped and used by these guys, and then she basically, plots their revenge. She gets revenge on every single one, single-handed. Kind of manipulating them and luring them in, and then she kills them. She cuts this one guy's dick off and in the bathtub. And I'm sorry, that is that just looking at that and hearing him scream in pain and agony is enough to just make me hurt down there. But yeah, she just goes out of her way to basically get revenge on these guys, and I love it. I absolutely love it. So, amazing film. I love it so much. Number 8, Don Coscarelli's Phantasm. These are, this movie has that weird aspect, but in a good way. It is original. Nothing has ever been done like it. I mean, you're in a mausoleum, go into this room, there's a bunch of barrels and 2 posts. You walk through the posts and you end up in another dimension with Jawas. Dwarf-like creatures. And you have Tall Man, played by Angus Scrimm, rest in peace. This really tall guy who picks up a coffin or a casket all by himself and throws it into the back of the hearse like it's nothing. It's like he can lift weights with it. Yeah, this movie's creepy. And I love the music. It's just awesome. Phantasm. That is number 8. Number 7, kind of a different pick. The 1976 version of King Kong. This is Jessica Lange's film debut, and I had a huge crush on her at this point. I saw this movie very young. Jeff Bridges. I think this is like one of the bloodiest King Kongs because what they do to him at the end, those helicopters shoot him up, and he's like bleeding all over the place and blood splattering. And, a lot of people didn't care for this film because he doesn't fight any monsters. He fights this giant snake, and that's about it. But the log rolling scene is still there. The scene where she gets, she gets elected to sacrifice herself for Kong. That's all there. But there are some really good differences. I actually think this is the best looking Kong. I think he's so intimidating, and the animatronics for like his face is so good. But yeah, I had the hots for Jessica Lange in this one. My God, did I ever. Anyway, that is number 7. Number 6 is, of course, the classic Exorcist. Even though I prefer Exorcist 3 over this, this is still where it started. This, my dad's still bothered by this movie. When you see it at that time, I think it affected a lot of people at that point. There are certain things that I don't think hold up well. Certain things, with the head turning around and things like that are just, they've been done before, and or not done before this movie, but I'm talking about they've been done so much that it's just, I don't know. I just think there are creepy things about the film, like when she's masturbating with a cross and things that she says. I mean, we're talking about, a little girl here. So, yeah, there are some chilling aspects and disturbing. I actually think the scene where she's getting poked with the needles at the hospital is worse than any of the demon possession stuff, because those huge loud machines and they take her blood and it starts pooling everywhere. Oh my God, that is a hard scene to watch. So, that's number 6. Number 5 is Alien. Haha, the very first Alien, yes. This is a sci-fi horror film. It's way different than Aliens. I always compare this to like Terminator. Like the first Terminator I consider like a horror action film. The second Terminator is more of an action film. You could say it's sci-fi as well. But this movie is definitely a horror film. I mean, John Hurt's scene, I always talk about this. His scene always gets me. I feel so sorry for him. They're all at the dinner table and he starts to scream and holding his chest. All of a sudden the alien bursts out of his chest. It is so disturbing and so real that I don't know. I kind of I don't really know what to say. I'm just kind of like holding myself, just like, oh my God. I'm kind of like holding my stomach and like my chest. I just, it's done so well. That was number 5. Number 4 is a movie that made me scared of oceans and even lakes. If I can't see the bottom of what I'm stepping on in the water, then I get scared. And it is, of course, Jaws. Now, I figured this would be on a lot of people's lists. This is an awesome movie. They used actual mechanical sharks. I think they built 3 of them. They had problems with them. If they remade this movie now, it'd be CGI. But I still think the shark looked pretty damn good for what they had. I mean, that Quint death, when the shark bites down on Quint and starts, you know, going back and forth with him in his mouth, like, that whole scene is crazy to watch. I just, you know, I saw this film when I was younger. It really startled me. And that stupid bimbo in the beginning who goes out in the ocean at night. You can't see nothing. You know, she gets dragged back and forth. She actually broke, I think, a couple of ribs doing that. You know, the actress did while filming that scene, getting tugged back and forth. But anyway, this is an awesome movie. They don't really show too much of it, but, you know, a kid actually dies. A kid actually gets eaten by the shark. I mean, they went that far with this movie. So that's number 4. Now we're on to number 3, and I freaking love this movie. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I saw this at a very young age as well, and I was hooked. This movie is not bloody or gory, and it doesn't need to be. It's proof that you can make a great horror film without having Leatherface, you know, slice people in half with his chainsaw. This is proof, okay? It's all about the story and the characters and, you know, camera tricks and whatnot. I mean, Leatherface hits the guy in the head, drags him behind the door there, shuts the shutter real quick, and hangs this girl on a hook and starts to, chainsaw this guy on the table, but they don't show it. But Sally at the end, you know, trying to escape is amazing. So I feel so bad for her. Anyway, classic film. Another classic that I'm not really going to talk about too much because what more is there to say? Number 2, Halloween. Is there any doubt? I mean, I'm sure this will be on everyone's favorite list, maybe even number 1, and that's awesome. But it didn't quite make my number 1 spot because the movie, if you all know me, you know what movie I'm going to list as my number 1, but Halloween made my number 2. All right, guys, so now we're going to list my number 1 favorite movie for the top 20 for 2020 70s horror. And that is Dawn of the Dead. Yes. This movie is so well paced and it's so well done. It's a character-driven film. Even the mall is kind of a character in itself because that's where they take refuge at, and they have to live in that mall and do certain things to keep people out of the mall and clear out the mall of zombies. And I love this. I mean, this is the ultimate edition, and I got this at the Denver airport. I remember on my way to Las Vegas, and I paid $80 for it. This movie is just so good. So that's my number 1. All right, guys, that's my list. Tell me what you think in the comments. And I'll see you next time for the next top 20.